Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Today is our day 2 for the DevOps with AWS Cloud online training program. In the yesterday session, we discussed who is your trainer for this batch, what are the prerequisites to attend this DevOps with AWS Cloud training, and who is eligible for this course, who should join, who should not join for this course, and what is the course content, what we are going to learn as part of this course, and what is the roadmap, in which order we are going to learn the topics in this course, and what is the course duration, weekly how many classes will be available, daily class timings, what about the class material, what about the class videos, okay, what is the payment mode, the fee structure of the course we discussed in the last session. And yesterday some people had some questions, so they interacted and at the end of the session for the clarifications. All right, good. So as I told you yesterday, there are no prerequisites for this course, guys. So this is from zero level we are going to start. So anyone can join for this course, whether you are having IT background or non-IT background, development background or non-development background, that doesn't matter. So this course we are going to start from the very beginning, from very basic level, so that everyone can easily understand the DevOps with AWS. As we discussed, in this course total, there are 7 modules available. The first module, the introduction part for the DevOps world. Okay, before getting into the DevOps, first we need to understand what is DevOps, why companies are adopting this DevOps, what are the roles and responsibilities of the DevOps engineer in the company, that we are going to learn in the introduction. The introduction is a theoretical part only. Then for non-IT people, this introduction part is very, very important. Then second module, we are going to learn the Linux operating system. Without having the knowledge on Linux, you can't learn the DevOps. Okay, so first we are going to learn the Linux, then we are going to learn shell scripting also. After that, we are going to learn AWS Cloud. Then we are going to learn 15 plus DevOps tools as part of this course. And we are going to implement some real-time projects also to get hands-on experience. After that, we are going to provide interview guidance also for you, like how to prepare the resume, how to give self-introduction, how to explain the roles and responsibilities, how to explain projects in the interview, what kind of projects we need to keep in the resume, what kind of questions they will ask in the interview, and we will conduct some mock interviews also for you. That part will be covered as part of the interview guidance. All right. So course is going to take 4 months of time, guys, plus or minus 10 days. Weekly 6 days classes will be available. Timings will be from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. IST. And this course code is 24 DevOps batch. And course fees, as we discussed, 16,000 if you want to go with DevOps with AWS. Anyone who is interested to go with the DevOps full stack, they will get Linux admin plus Python extra. For that, 22,000 will be the plan. So you can choose anyone. You can go with the DevOps with AWS, or you can go with the DevOps full stack also. If you go for DevOps full stack, as we discussed, all these 7 modules will be covered. Extra Linux admin and Python scripting also will be covered. In the DevOps, we are going to learn 15 plus tools. I have given the names of those tools also here. And coming to AWS Cloud, we are going to learn 10 plus services in the AWS here. What are the services we are going to cover in the AWS? Those service names also I have given here. Okay, EC2, S3, RDS, IAM, VPC, Lambdas, EKS, CloudWatch, SNS, Route 53, CLI, Beanstalk. So like this, we are going to learn these services in the AWS Cloud. And as part of this course, you are going to attend daily live classes. Okay, instructor-led training will be available. Soft copy notes will be provided for every topic. Every class backup video will be provided for revision. 1 year validity will be available for that. And daily doubts clarification will be available at the end of the session. And we will create one group for the batch people for the discussion. And I will be giving the assignments on each topic also. And we are going to conduct the mock interviews also for the candidates who are interested to participate. And we will provide course completion certificate also at the end of the course. Okay, today is our second session. As we told, you can attend 5 classes for free of cost with the same Zoom link. All right, so let's get started with our day 2. Okay, so as part of our today's session, we are going to start the introduction part, which is our module 1. Okay, software project introduction. What is a software project? Why we need to develop the software projects? How many types of projects will be available? And what is the software development life cycle we are going to follow in the industry? What are the roles and responsibilities of DevOps engineer in the software project? Okay, software project introduction. My first question here, what is software project? Can anyone unmute your mic and tell me what is the meaning of a software project here? Can anyone unmute your mic and can tell me what is the meaning of software project? What do you mean by software project? We all are here to learn the DevOps. Once you learn this course, you will go to the job, and in that company, you are going to work on a project. So my question is, what is a software project?
Hi Ashok.
Yeah.
Software project means like in an organization, you will be having a different client altogether, and particular client, for an example, XYZ company, they wants from you, like as they are the vendor or they are the clients or customer from your organization, they want some certain requirement uh, for a particular project. Like for an example, I'm working in TCS, and I have a customer like XYZ company, and they want a project related to Azure, or they want a certain device management project altogether. They want to move from SCCM to Intune. That kind of project will come into picture, and then the certain project team lead or project team will be assigned for that. The project lead and the service owner, then the team lead, then your quality team, then your admins, all will be part of that. Then they will be having a certain discussion about the price and negotiation, what time, what duration will be the project to finalize or complete, when will be the kickoff meeting will happen, all such thing. Like it will include end-to-end thing to complete that requirement from the customer end. So that is the kind of project I can say.
Very good, Mister. Very good job, Sumit. Good job. Good
Yeah.
explanation. Next one. Anyone else can tell me what is software project, guys? What is your opinion about software project?
Okay, software project. Before that, there is some kind of manual activities which users are doing.
Yeah.
So whenever they are trying to convert it to digital, so probably they will think about that software. So where that software picture starts in. So first
Very good.
phase would be that requirement analysis. So along with that, we need to plan for what kind of technologies we need to take it up, what kind of databases we need to go, how we are going to handle that security, whether we are going to with that in software or we are going through cloud. So those kind of analysis we need to do. And once it is finalized, probably we can start out that start software development.
Yeah.
So software development, no, again, there are a lot of SDLC process which need to be followed until unless
Yes.
we finally deliver to the users and we get the sign off.
Very good, sir. Good, Bhaskar. Next one. In last chance. Anyone want to take this?
Yeah, Ashok here. This is Satya here.
Yeah. Hi, Satya. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
in short form of software project is there is a business requirement. If you can automate as a digital project, like it's a online project, by following the software development life cycle manner, like SDLC, waterfall model or agile model.
Okay.
So in case of these, either any of the model, we have to do the analysis, design, development, testing, then the deployment, and finally usage of the users usage.
Okay.
In Yeah, during these phases, so some of the activities we have to do it in uh, currently we are doing manually. So in future, not even future, so few of the things we can automate it instead of manual intervention. So
Yes.
yeah, because of that's the reason the DevOps comes into picture, to apply the automate those of the some of the activities, like deployment, integration, continuous integration, those kind of.
Very good. Good, sir. Good, Satya. Fine, guys. So people have shared their thoughts. Excellent. Good job, guys. I want this kind of interaction in the session. It's not like a one-way traffic. So when I ask some question, I want the people to respond so that the session will be interactive. Then we can discuss more subject here. Okay, don't feel that I am a teacher, you are a student. We are friends here. We are discussing the subject. Our ultimate goal is to learn the subject. So I want the session to be interactive. I'm expecting more responses from you people in the coming classes. All right, good. So let's discuss about what is the software project and why we need to develop the software projects and what type of software projects available in the market and what is the role of DevOps engineer in that software project. That is the main agenda. Okay, so here software project nothing but collection of programs. A set of team will be available. Those people are going to develop some code. Several programs they are going to develop. Set of programs, collection of programs is called as one software project. Okay, in order to develop a software project, there are so many programming languages are available. To develop a software project, we are going to develop some programs. To develop those software programs, there are several languages are available. What are the languages available to develop a software project? C language, C++, Java, Python, PHP, .NET, etc. There are so many languages available to develop a software project. Like, so you are seeing software projects like Naukri, Gmail, YouTube, Amazon, Netflix, Flipkart. So these all are software projects only. Project is nothing but collection of programs. In order to develop those projects, there are some languages available. Okay, what are those languages? C, C++, Java, Python, PHP, .NET, etc. Some languages are available. Now, my next question is, why to develop a project? My next question, why to develop software project? Okay, so many companies are involved in this project development process. So why we are developing these software projects? So the main agenda to develop the software project is to reduce human efforts. Whatever the works that we are doing manually, we want to simplify that. We want to automate the works that we are doing manually. That's where software projects comes into picture. Software projects are mainly used to reduce human efforts and simplify humans' life. Whatever the works that we are doing manually, that work we can reduce, we can simplify that. We can reduce the human efforts. That's where software projects comes into picture. What are the some examples for this one, guys? So earlier, if you want to book train ticket, then you should go to railway station. Nowadays, IRCTC website is available for train tickets booking. Okay, IRCTC available for the train tickets booking. Earlier, if you want to transfer money, then you should go to the bank and you need to deposit the money by filling the form. Today, net banking is available. Net banking for banking operations. If you want to apply the loan, if you want to withdraw the money, if you want to transfer the money, so all these things you can do by using net banking application only. I want to purchase one mobile. Okay, so earlier we should go to the mobile store in order to purchase a mobile. Today we are having Amazon, Flipkart, etc. for online shopping. Okay, now earlier if I want to eat one biryani, then I should go to restaurant. But today, so I no need to go to the restaurant also. Swiggy, Zomato applications are available. Swiggy, Zomato for food orders. So like this, there are so many software projects are available in the market. These software projects are used to reduce human efforts and they are simplifying our human life. So collection of programs is called as one software project. So to develop these software projects, there are several languages available. So why we need to develop these software projects? Software projects are mainly used to reduce human efforts and simplify humans' life. Okay, so we all are using these applications in our daily life. IRCTC, net banking, mobile banking, Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato, so many projects we are using in our daily life so that our efforts are getting reduced. Okay, now in the industry, how many types of software projects are available? Okay, tomorrow when you go for the company, you can see several types of software projects, guys. What are the several types of software projects available? So the first one is desktop applications. We can also call these desktop applications as standalone applications. Okay, so there are several types of software projects available in the market. First category is called as desktop application. Second category is called as web application. Third category is called as mobile application. Okay guys, software projects we can divide into three types guys. What are the three types of software projects available? First one is desktop application, second one is web application, and the third one is mobile application. So here, what is the meaning of desktop application? Desktop application nothing but any application which can be used only in one computer. Okay, so any software that you can use only in one computer, that is called as a desktop application. At a time, only one user can access that application. Such kind of applications are called as desktop applications. Desktop applications will execute only in one system. Only one user can access at a time. Okay, any software that you are installing in your computer and that you can use only in your computer, which is called as a desktop application. What is the best example for this desktop application? The best example is operating system. Okay, you are using a laptop. In your laptop, you are installing Windows operating system. That is a software that will work only in one system. If I want to use Windows operating system, I need to download it. I need to install in my laptop. So if my brother want to use Windows operating system, that person should download that OS, should install that OS in his laptop. That means everybody should download that software, should install that software in the computer, then only they can use it. Such a kind of softwares are called as standalone softwares or desktop softwares. They are also called as desktop application. And for example, calculator that will use only in one system, notepad that we can use only in one system. So the applications which will execute only in one system at a time, the application which can be accessed by only one user at a time, such a kind of applications are called as desktop applications. Okay, and second category, web applications are available. What is the meaning of web application? Web applications can be accessed by multiple users at a time with the help of internet. The best example for the web application, YouTube. So multiple people can access YouTube at a time. And another best example, Gmail. Multiple people are using Gmail at a time. Okay, Facebook is one web application. LinkedIn is one web application. So any application which can be accessed by multiple users at a time, that application is called as a web application. Okay, third one is a mobile application. What is the meaning of mobile application? Mobile applications are going to run in the mobile guys. Okay, the app, mobile applications are used to install and use. Mobile applications we can install in our mobile smartphones. Apps will be available. Okay, Facebook Messenger app is available, Instagram app is available, WhatsApp is available. Okay, the best example, WhatsApp. Okay, and Facebook Messenger is available, Instagram is available. So all these things are called as mobile apps. We can download and install in our mobile, so that in our mobile we can use that app. Okay, desktop applications available, web applications are available, and mobile applications are available. So in the industry, we can see three types of projects guys. Tomorrow when you go for the company, you will be working on any one of this project: desktop application, web application, and mobile application. What is the meaning of desktop application? Any application which will execute only in one system, that is called as a desktop application. An example, OS, calculator, and a notepad. Web application can be accessed by multiple users at a time with the help of internet. YouTube, Gmail, Facebook, LinkedIn, these all are the examples for the web applications. Mobile application, the apps we are installing in the mobile: WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, these all are called as mobile applications. Are you guys clear? What is the software project? Why we need to develop the software project? And how many types of software projects are available? Next one, software project architecture. Next one, software project architecture. So when we are talking about software project, how that project will be developed in the company. Okay, the project will contain mainly three components, guys. So if you take any software project, that application, software application will contain three components, guys. What are the three components we are going to see in a software project? The software application, that application architecture, project architecture contains below three components, guys. What are those three components? First one is front end, second one is back end, and the third one is database. Okay, front end, back end, database. These three components will be available inside a software project. Okay, so diagrammatically, if we see the software project, three layers will be available, or we can say three components will be available in the project. First component and the second component and third component will be available. Okay, three components will be available in the software project. So let me consider this as front end of the application. Let me consider this as a back end of the application. Let me consider this as a database of the application. Okay, now we are the end users who are using the application. Now I'm a customer. I'm using the software application like Gmail I am using, YouTube I am using. I will be called as a client here. I will be called as a client and I am going to use this software application. How I am going to use this software application? By using one software. Okay, I'm going to use a browser. Okay, I will be using one software that is called browser. Using the browser, I'm going to access the software application. Let me call it as a browser. That is our Google browser we are using. Assume that this is the browser. So as an end user, I will communicate with the browser. From the browser, I'm going to access front end of the application. Front end will access back end of the application. Back end will access database of the application. That is how people are using the software projects. So what is this front end? This front end contains UI. Front end is also called as user interface of the application. Whatever you see on the project with your eyes, that is called as UI, user interface. For example, so if I go to a website called Make My Trip, okay, Make My Trip is one website. So when you open the Make My Trip application, you can see some user interface here. A logo is available, some menu is available, and when you click on the flights, it is going to display the flights information. Okay, when I click on hotels, some hotels information is coming. So whatever you see with your eyes on this website, that is called front end of the application, which is also called as user interface of the application. And when you perform some operations on the front end, it will go to back end of the application. Okay, what will be there in the back end? Back end contains business logic. Okay, the code will be available in the back end, that is business logic of the application. Okay, business logic will be available in the back end. Then what is the database? Database is used for storage of our application. Our application should maintain some data. The data we are going to store by using a software called database software. So in every project, these three layers will be available. Front end layer will be available, back end layer will be available, and the database layer will be available. Front end is called as user interface. Back end is called as business logic. Database is used for storage purpose in our application. Okay, this is the software project architecture. If you go to any software project, only these three layers will be available. Are you guys able to follow me? Front end, back end, database will be available. So this front end contains presentation layer, nothing but user interface will be available in the front end. In the back end, business logic will be available, like sending the OTP, sending the email to you, deducting the amount from your account, sending the amount to your friend account, validating your data. All such kind of logics will be available in the back end of the application. Then what is the database? Database is used for storing the data. Now if you go to Make My Trip application, When I search for Goa, I want to go for Goa and I want to search for the flights to the Goa. Okay, I'm selecting the data. Okay, I want to select the date as 30th and 31st here. So one room is available and click on apply. So when I click on this apply, it is going to find the flights belongs to my input. So I have given the date, I have given the number of people, so I have given the location also. So which city you want to travel, when you want to travel, when you want to check in, when you want to check out, how many rooms you want, how many people are there. I'm selecting my data here. Suppose for example, I want to go for a Delhi. So I want to go for the Delhi next month 10th. Okay. And I want to come out on the 17th August. 10th August, I want to leave from here. 17th August, I want to come here. Then I want to search for the flights for that. I want to search for the hotels for that. Okay. So based on your requirement, you can search the data. So it is going to give you that information. Where is that information? That information is available in the database of the Make My Trip application. This is a software project. This is a software project. So in this software project, user interface is available, backend is available, database is available. So software project contains architecture like this. Now in the industry, the developers will be available to develop this software project. Sir, as a DevOps engineer, are we going to develop this project? No. That is not our responsibility. So separate team will be available to develop the project. Then what we are responsible? We are responsible to deliver this project to the client. As a DevOps engineer, we are responsible to deploy and deliver project to the client. So if you want to deploy and if you want to deliver the project to the client, first of all, you should know how many layers available in your application, what technology is used to develop this application. If you have that idea, then only you can deliver this project to the client. So that is the reason we are understanding this. So how this front end and back end and database will be developed in the real time? To develop the front end of the application in the real time, some companies are going to use Angular. Angular technology will be available. Some companies are going to use React.js technology to develop front end of the application. These are the front end technologies, guys. Some projects will be developed by using Angular. Some projects will be developed by using React to develop the UI of the application. Then coming to the back end, some projects will be developed by using Java. Some projects will be developed by using .NET. Some projects will be developed by using Python. Some projects will be developed with Node.js. Some projects will be developed by using PHP. These all are called as back-end technologies, guys. These are all called as back-end technologies. They will use any one of these technology in order to develop back-end of the application. To develop the front end of the application, Angular is available and React is available. To develop the back end of the application, there are several technologies available like Java, .NET, Python, Node.js, and PHP. Then coming to database, there are several databases available in the market. Okay, the famous databases in the market, Oracle database available, MySQL database available, Postgres database is available, and MongoDB is available. Okay, these are the several databases available in the market. So people in the companies, they will use according to their requirement. Some free databases available, some paid databases also available in the market. So companies will choose the database that is required for the project based on their requirement. Okay, so this is the technology stack of a software project. So when you see any project, whether it is a Make My Trip application or whether it is a Naukri application or whether it is a LinkedIn application, okay, any project if you see, user interface will be available. Nothing but front end will be available for the application, back end will be available for the application, database will be available for the application. So the complete these three components together we are going to call as one software project. So this front end, back end, database, these three components we are going to call as software project. Okay, the people in the industry who can develop this front end, back end, and database, those people are called as developers. Those are called as full stack developers. So currently in the market for freshers, if the fresher want to get the job in the IT industry, that fresher should learn full stack development. So what is the meaning of full stack development? That person should learn how to develop the front end of the application, how to develop the back end of the application, how to develop the database required for the application. So the person who can develop the front end, back end database of the application, that person is called as full stack developer. Who should learn that full stack development? So the people who are interested in the coding, who are interested in the programming part, who completed their graduation this year or last year. So who want to get the job as a fresher, those people should go for the full stack development course. So they will learn front-end development by using Angular or React, back-end development by using Java, .NET, Python, any one back-end technology, and any one or two databases they are going to learn. So the people who are learning the front-end, back-end database, those people are called as full stack developers. They are called as programmers. But here, do we need to learn these technologies to become a DevOps engineer, guys? Is it required for us? Do we need to learn these technologies? We no need to learn these technologies now. If you want to learn these technologies, then you will go for the developer job, not for the DevOps job. So DevOps engineer is not responsible for development. For the development, separate team will be available. We are called as operational engineers, DevOps engineers, development plus operations. Development will be taken care by one team, operations will be taken care by another team. We are called as operational engineer. We are belongs to operations team in the project. So in the project, mainly three teams will be available. In the project, mainly three teams will be available. Development team will be available, testing team will be available, operations team will be available. Developers are responsible to do coding in the project. They will develop the screens, they will develop the front end. If you see, when you go to the Make My Trip, when I select some dates, suppose for example, I want to go for New Delhi to Chennai. From Delhi to Chennai, I want to travel so and so date. When I click on the search button, it is showing me the flights which are going from New Delhi to Chennai on this particular date. Okay, this page is displaying, some filters are displaying, some flights are displaying. Okay, so all these things are coming because somebody has done the coding for this. They have developed the screen, they developed that functionality. So that person is called as developer, full stack developer, who can develop the front end, back end, and database of the project. So once this project is developed, testing team will be available. They will test all the functionalities in the project working as expected or not. Okay, software testers will be available. Whatever the code done by the developers, that code is working as expected or not, that will be tested by one separate team, that is called testing team. Okay, then what we are going to do in the project? What is the role of the DevOps engineer in the project? As a DevOps engineer, we are responsible to deploy this project. We are responsible to execute this project. We are responsible to deliver the project to the customer. We are called as operations team member. Developers are different, operation team members are different. So for operational team member, coding knowledge is not required. We are going to work as an administrator in the project. We are going to set up the infrastructure for the project. We are going to set up the servers for the project. We are going to take care of the security for the project. Okay, we are going to take care of infrastructure for the project, and we will deploy the project, and we will deliver the project to the customer. We will deliver the project to the client. Okay, in a project, multiple teams will be available. Development team will be available, testing team will be available, operations team also will be available. So if you want to understand the clear picture, what we are going to do as a DevOps engineer, first you need to understand what is project, why we are developing project, how many layers, what is the architecture of the project, what technologies will be used in the project, how many teams will be available in the project, who is responsible for which activity in the project. So you should have that clarity. You should have that clarity. Are you clear with my point? So what is software project? Collection of software programs is called as software project. To develop the software projects, there are so many languages are available. Those are called as programming languages. Those are called as programming languages. Okay, so why we are going to develop the software projects? As we discussed, software projects are used to reduce human efforts, and they are going to simplify the human's life. Whatever the work 10 people are doing can be done within very less time using one software application. So earlier, if you want to book a train ticket, you should go to the railway station. Okay, you need to book a cab, go to the railway station, stand in the queue, take the ticket. And in the railway station, one employee should be there, one system should be there to book the ticket for you. One printer is required to print your ticket, give the ticket. Then you come to your home along with the ticket. Half day time will be wasted. So when 10 years back, if you want to book a train ticket, half day time will be wasted. Today, within 5 minutes, you can book the ticket. If you want to deposit some money, you are doing some job in Hyderabad, your parents are in your hometown, or you are studying in Hyderabad, your parents are in your village. Your parents want to send some money to your account for your hostel fees, for your education fees. Then your father should go to the bank, should fill up a form, okay, should stand in the queue, give to the bank employee. Then they will deposit money to your account. Here, you should go to the ATM, take that money, pay to your hostel owner. But today, everything is happening within a minute by using Google Pay, Phone Pay. Software project. Okay. Earlier, if you want to purchase a mobile, go to mobile store, verify these mobiles, purchase the, ask the price, bargain the price, then purchase a mobile. Now, everything is online. Everything is online. Software projects are there. Software projects are used to reduce human efforts, and they are simplifying the human life. Okay, so how many types of software projects available in the market? There are 3 types of software projects in the market. Desktop projects available, web applications available, mobile applications available. What is the meaning of desktop application? Any application that can be accessed only in one system by only one user at a time. That application is called as a desktop application. Desktop application is also called as standalone application, guys. Then next one, what is a web application? One application can be accessed by multiple users at a time. That application is called as web application. Gmail, Facebook, Naukri, YouTube, Amazon, Flipkart, all these are web applications. Nothing but multiple people can access these applications at a time with the help of internet. And the third category, mobile apps are available. Okay, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all these applications can be installed in our smartphone and we can use them easily. So in the IT industry, companies are developing these 3 types of projects, guys. Then what is the architecture they will follow to develop these applications? So in every software project, 3 components, or we can say 3 layers will be available. What are the 3 layers available in the project? First one is front-end layer, which is called presentation layer. Second one is the back-end, which is contains business logic. Third one is the database that is used for storage. So a software project contains mainly 3 layers, guys. Front-end will be available, back-end will be available, database will be available. Front-end is nothing but user interface of the application. Back-end contains business logic of the application. Database is used for storing the data. Okay, now front end contains user interface. That front end we are going to develop by using some technologies like Angular or React. Okay, so Angular, React are called as front end technologies. They are used to develop user interface. Front end contains user interface, which is also called as a presentation layer. To develop the front end of the application, we will use Angular or React.js. Then what is the backend? Backend of the application contains business logic. For example, you are transferring the amount, then you will get a OTP. So that means some code is executing in the project which will send the OTP for you. Backend technologies, Java, Python, .NET, etc. They are called as backend technologies. Okay. Next one, database. What is the purpose of the database? Database is used for storage, guys. Database is used for storage. Okay, Oracle, MySQL will be available. MongoDB, Postgres, Cassandra, these are called as databases that we are going to use to develop a project. Are you guys clear? Who is called as a full stack developer? Who is called as a full stack developer? The person who can develop everything in the project is called as a full stack developer. The person who can do everything required for the project is called as a full stack developer. They are called as a programmers. They will develop the front end, they will develop the back end, they will develop the database, they will set up the database that is required for the project. Are you guys clear? Could you please confirm in the chat box? Are you with me? Are you able to follow me, guys? Are you guys with me? Are you able to follow me? Yes. Okay. Now let's understand. Application tech stack. What are the technologies will be used in order to develop a project? What is the technology stack we are going to use to develop a project? Okay. So some applications can be developed by using Java, Angular, Oracle. So front end will be developed by using Angular. Backend will be developed using Java. Database they will use as Oracle. Okay, so that is company's requirement. They can change the technology according to their requirement, guys. They are developing front end by using Angular, backend by using Java, database Oracle they are using. When you go for some other projects, they are using React.js for the front end, Java for the backend, MongoDB for the database. So technology stack can change from project to project, from company to company. So it's up to their requirement. According to their requirement, they will choose the technology stack, front-end technology, back-end technology, and a database. In some projects, for example, they are using Angular for the front-end, Python for the back-end, MySQL database they are using. So that is their requirement. In some projects, React.js for the front-end, .NET in the backend, SQL Server for the database. In some other projects, front-end React.js, backend Node.js, database MongoDB. Okay, so here if you see, for the front-end two technologies, Angular or React. For backend, several technologies are available and there are several databases available. So by combining all these things, they will develop one project. Three-tier architecture, front-end, backend, database. So they can change the technologies according to their requirement. They can change the technologies according to their requirement. Are you guys clear with my point? Then sub teams in the project. Teams in the project. So in this project development, which teams will be available and what is our role in this project? Are we going to do any coding in the project? Come on, guys. As a DevOps, you all are here to learn the DevOps course with AWS Cloud, Linux, shell scripting and all. Are you going to do any coding after this course? Are you going to develop any project after this course?
No.
No. We are not responsible for that. Our duties, our responsibilities are different. Okay. So let's understand what type of teams will be available in the project. So the first one, the business team will be available, which is called as business analyst team will be available. Business analyst team will be available. So these people are going to understand the client business. These people will get the requirements from the client. Business analysis team. Okay, business analyst, or we can call them as business analysis team. Business analysis team. In some companies, we will call them as functional team also. We are also going to call them as functional team. That means they are responsible to get the functionality from the client. These people will understand client business. They will get the requirements from the client. What client is expecting, these people will get the requirement, will give to the development team. Business analysis team will be available in the project. Those people are responsible to understand the client requirement and take the client requirement, give the requirements to the development team. So in the project, development team will be available. So what is the responsibility of this development team? They will do the coding. They will develop the front end. They will develop the back end. They will set up the database required for the project. Currently in the market, companies are looking for full stack developers. So full stack developer means the person who can develop all the three layers of the application, front end, back end, database. So anybody who want to get the job as a fresher, then they need to join for this full stack development course. Okay, companies are looking for full stack developers. Even if you are a fresher also, you can get the job in the full stack field, full stack development field. Okay, so developers will be available in the project. The development team is responsible for coding. Okay, along with this, in the project, testing team will be available. Software testers will be available. Whatever the code will done by the developers, that code is working as expected or not will be verified by testing team. Manual testers will be available. Automation testers also will be available. Some people will use automation testing tools like Selenium, JMeter, QTP, something like that. There are some tools available. They will test the application by using those tools. Testing team. So testing team, again, manual team will be available, automation team will be available. What is the responsibility of the testing team? They are responsible to verify that developers developed some code. They have developed the project. Is that code working as expected or not will be verified, will be tested by testing team. Then here, one more team will be available, which is called as operations team. Currently in the market, we are calling them as DevOps team. Okay, in a project, one more team will be available, that is called operations team. We are called as operations team member, DevOps engineers. DevOps engineers are called as operations team members. Are you guys able to follow me? In a software project, what type of teams will be available? What teams will be available in a project? Business analysis team will be available, development team will be available, testing team will be available, and operations team also will be available. Are you guys able to follow me? Are you with me? Please respond in the chat box, guys. Whatever the speed I'm going, is it okay? Everyone able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
You're able to follow me, right?
Yes.
Good. So in a project, how many types of teams will be available? How many types of teams will be available in a project, guys? Four types of teams will be
14.
available. Four types of teams will be available. What are those teams, guys, in a company? What type of teams will be available in the company?
Business
Business analysis team, development team, testing team, and
Business
operations team.
analysis team will be available. Development team will be available. Testing team will be available. Operations team will be available. So what is the responsibility of the business analyst team, business analysis team? What they will do?
They will
Business
gather the
analysis
requirements
team
from the
is responsible to get requirements from the client. Okay, client is staying in a different country, so we need to get the requirements from the client. To get the requirements from the client, business analysis team will be available. Business analysis team is also called as functional team. Also called as functional team. Then what is the responsibility of the development team, guys? Development team is responsible for coding. Okay, develop the project. Develop the project. Business analysis team is responsible to get the requirements from the client. Development team is responsible for coding, nothing but they are responsible to develop the project. Okay, what they are going to develop, guys? Front end, back end, and database. So if they develop front end, back end, database, can we call them as full stack developer? Can we call them as a full stack developer? Who is called as a full stack developer?
Who will do the backend, front end, and database?
Who will do the entire project? Who will do the entire project development is called as a full stack developer. Who should go for the full stack development course? Who is interested in the coding? Who is a fresher? Who is interested in the coding? those people should go for the full stack
Full stack.
development. Okay, next one, testing team will be available in the project. What is the responsibility of the testing team?
To test the code they will test the
Project.
what the developer have
Testing team is
developed the
responsible
code.
to verify project functionality is working as expected or not. Testing team is responsible to verify project is working as expected or not. Client has given some requirements. Development team has done the coding for that. Now, whatever the code the development team has done, that is that code working as expected by the client or not. So that will be verified by testing team. So in the testing team, again, two types of teams will be available. Manual testing team, automation testing team also will be available. Next one, in the project, one more team will be available, that is called operations team. So what is the other name for the operations team, guys? What is the other name for the operations team? DevOps team. Okay, what is the responsibility of this operations team? Operations team is responsible for below activities. Okay, what are the responsibilities of the operations team? Operations team is responsible for below activities. What are those activities? The first one, infrastructure setup. What is the first step, guys? What is our first responsibility as a operations team member? Infrastructure setup. That means to run our application, we need some servers. Okay, set up the servers. Infrastructure setup. Infrastructure setup is nothing but we are going to set up app servers. To run the application, some servers are required. For our application, database is required, DB servers are required. For our application, storage is required. For our application infrastructure, some security is required. So we are going to set up the infrastructure required for the application. Okay, infrastructure setup is our responsibility. What is the meaning of infrastructure setup? For my project, I needed 10 computers. I needed 2 databases. I need a storage. I need security for this infrastructure. Okay, I need a backup of my infrastructure. So infrastructure setup is our responsibility. Next one, we are responsible as a operations team member. We are responsible for configuration management. We are responsible for configuration management. What is the meaning of configuration management? Suppose I want to run this application in one computer. So in order to run the application in the computer, then what I need to do? I need to install the softwares. Okay, this project is developed by using React, install React.js, front-end React.js, backend developed using Java, database is Oracle. Okay, I need to set up all these softwares required for the application execution. That is called configuration management. Setting up this machine is called infrastructure setup. In that machine, install the required softwares. It is called configuration management. Okay, we are responsible for infrastructure setup. We are responsible for configuration management. What is the meaning of configuration management, guys? Install required softwares. Okay, install required software, copy files, copy the files from one machine to another machine. Such kind of configurations we need to take care in the project. Okay, and the next one, we are responsible to build and deploy the code. We are responsible for build and deployment. Whatever the code is done by the developers, can we give the code to the client directly? Whatever the code is available, can we give the code to the client? Development team will write the code. Can we give the code to the client? This is the project code, take it and leave from here. Can we tell that to the client?
No,
sir.
No, what we need to do? Whatever the code is done by the developers, that code we need to deploy. We need to convert that code into one application. Client don't know about Java, about Oracle, about Angular. Client is a non-technical person. Client is a businessman. If you give the project to code to the client, he cannot do anything. So what we need to do, whatever the code done by the developers, we need to deliver the code to the client in application format. So the process of converting the code into an application is called as build and deployment. Okay, so we are responsible to perform build and deployment activity in the project. Let me show you. Okay, so here I am having my GitHub account, guys. I'm having my GitHub account. In my GitHub account, there are so many projects available. Okay, some Python application is available. Python application is available in my project. In this Python application, some code is available. Developers has developed this code using Python language. So this is the code of the Python. Python project code is available. If I give this code to the client, can he do anything? Can client understand this code?
No, sir.
Can client understand this code, guys? No, client cannot understand this code. Then what we need to do? We need to convert this code into one application. We need to give the application URL to the client. So how to convert this code into one application? That's where we are going to perform build and deployment. As a operations team member, we are responsible to build and deploy the code. Who will do the coding? Coding will be taken care by development team. Who will check that code is working or not? It will be taken care by testing team. Then what is our responsibility? We need to set up the infrastructure required for the application execution. We need to install the required softwares to execute our application, and we need to convert that code into application. Infrastructure setup, configuration management, build and deployment, we have to take care. Then we are also responsible for monitoring. We are also responsible for monitoring. So how our servers are working, how our database is working, how our application is working. Is there any problem with the infrastructure? Is there any problem with the configuration? Is there any problem with the build and deployment? Is there any memory level issues? All those things we have to monitor as a DevOps engineer. So as a DevOps engineer, we are mainly responsible for these 4 activities: infrastructure setup, configuration management, build and deployment, and the monitoring of our application. Now tell me, coding is required for the DevOps engineer? Coding knowledge is required
No,
for the
sir.
DevOps engineer?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No.
Non-IT people can learn the DevOps?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What we are going to do as a DevOps engineer in the project? What is our
Operations.
responsibility as a DevOps engineer in the project, guys?
Infrastructure
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure setup,
build and
configuration
deployment, and
management,
monitoring.
build and
The
deployment monitoring.
infrastructure required for the project. We are going to install the softwares required for the project. Developers will write the code, right? That code we need to convert into an application. For that, we are going to perform build and deployment.
Build and deployment.
And once the application is delivered to the client, application delivery, that is also our responsibility. Application delivery process, application release, and monitoring. What is the meaning of application release? What is the meaning of application release, guys?
Developer build the project and DevOps engineer deliver to client.
Yes. Whatever the code is done by the development team member, that code we need to build and we need to deliver to the client. That is called application release. So once we deliver application to the client, our task is completed.
No.
Once we deliver application to the client, is our task completed?
No.
No. What we need to do?
Monitoring.
How that application is working, how the infrastructure is working. Is there any issue with the infrastructure? Is there any issue with the configuration? Is there any issue in the build and deployment? Is there any problem in the release process? Okay, these things we should be monitored. These are the 5 main activities that we need to perform as a DevOps engineer in the project. So developers will take care of the coding part, testers will take care of the testing part. As a operations team member, we need to take care of infrastructure setup, configuration management, build and deployment, application release process, and application monitoring. Okay, in order to perform these activities, we will use some tools. Those tools are called as DevOps tools. So infrastructure setup, we don't create manually. We don't create database, storage, security, servers manually. There is a tool for that. Configuration management, we will not do manually. There is a tool for that. Build and deployment, we will use tool for that. Application delivery, we will do that by using tool. Application monitoring, we will do that by using tool. So learning DevOps nothing but learning the tools and using the tools to perform these activities in the project. So what is the meaning of DevOps? DevOps means we are responsible to perform these activities, not manually, by using some tools. Those tools are called as DevOps tools. In order to perform these activities, we are going to use several tools in the real time. Those tools are called as DevOps tools. These are the tools we are going to use in the real time to perform infrastructure setup, configuration management, build and deployment, application releasing, application and resources monitoring. So to perform those 5 activities in the project, we are going to use several tools. So if you learn how to work with these tools, then you are called as a DevOps engineer. If you learn how to work with these tools, then you are called as a DevOps engineer. Are you able to follow me?
Yes.
So what is our responsibility as a DevOps engineer and how we will do that, guys? Can anyone tell me what is our responsibility as a DevOps engineer and how we are going to do that?
Need to do the infrastructure setup. Then we need to do the configuration management, as well as we need to take care of the build and deployment process. Then we will do the application release, and finally we will do the monitoring part for the quality check and if any bugs or issues for that delivered applications. And all these things will be done by the DevOps tool, which is on the top, like 15 or 16 tools.
Right. So as a DevOps engineer, we are responsible to perform these activities, and these activities we are going to perform by using several tools. Those tools are called as DevOps tools. Are you clear with my point? Yes. What are the DevOps tools we are going to use to perform these operations, guys? Okay, so here infrastructure setup I told you. Infrastructure setup I told you, right? This infrastructure setup we are going to do by using a tool called Terraform. What is the purpose of Terraform? Where we will use a Terraform in the project? Come on, guys. Where we will use a Terraform in the project?
For the infrastructure.
Come on. I need answer. Answer is there on the screen.
Creating servers. Databases.
You want to, as a DevOps engineer, you are responsible to do the infrastructure setup. This infrastructure setup we will do by using a tool called Terraform. So by using this Terraform, you can set up the infrastructure in the AWS. You can set up infrastructure in the AZURE. You can set up infrastructure in the GCP. So infrastructure setup is mandatory for every project. So for every project, servers are required, database required, storage required, security required, network required. Without infrastructure, you can't run the project. So infrastructure setup is mandatory for every project. So that's why Terraform software is having lot of demand in the market. Terraform software is having lot of demand in the market because for every project, infrastructure setup is required. Infrastructure setup we will automate by using Terraform software. Okay, and the next one, we are responsible for configuration management. So to perform this configuration management, we will use a software called Ansible. What is the software, guys? What is the tool we are going to use for the configuration management? Ansible. So then tell me, what is the difference between Terraform and Ansible? What is the difference between Terraform and
is like
Ansible?
set up the infrastructure, and Ansible is used for
By using
configuration.
Terraform, you can create a machine. In the AWS, I want to set up one machine. So this machine setup we will do by using Terraform. In that machine, I want to install the software that we will do by using Ansible. Machines creation, infrastructure setup we will do by using Terraform. In that infrastructure, any softwares that you want to install, for that we are going to use Ansible. Terraform is used for infrastructure setup and Ansible is used for configuration management. Ansible is used for configuration management. Next one, we need to perform build and deployment. We need to perform build and deployment. So to perform the build and deployment, guys, we are going to use Maven plus Docker plus Kubernetes plus Jenkins. So these 4 tools we are going to integrate in order to build and in order to deploy the application. Okay, delivery, application build, deployment, delivery, we are going to do by using this software called Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, and Jenkins. So we will integrate all these tools and we are going to build and deploy that code. Then where that code will be available, how the developers will give the code. So now I am a DevOps engineer. Can I go to each and every developer with a pen drive? Please give me your code I want to deploy. Please give me your code I want to deploy. Am I going to ask like that?
No, it will be there in GitHub.
Can we ask each and every developer to share their code so that we can deploy that code and deliver to the client? No. So what is required? We need one source code management software. We need one source code management software. That means in a project, multiple team members will be available. Some people working in Hyderabad, some people working in Bangalore, some people working in Pune, Chennai, Delhi, US, UK. So it is MNC company. The people are working from different locations. All the team members' code will be stored at one place, that is called GitHub. Some people will use GitHub, some people will use Bitbucket. Anything is fine. Anything is fine. So for every project, source code management software will be available, which is used to keep all the developers' code at one place. That is called GitHub. So as a DevOps engineer, you should know how to take that code from the GitHub, because development team is there. The developers are writing the code. They are storing all that code at one place. As a DevOps engineer, I should know how to take the code from the GitHub. So that means as a DevOps engineer, I should know how to set up the infrastructure for the project by using Terraform. As a DevOps engineer, I should know how to manage configurations by using Ansible. As a DevOps engineer, I should know how to take the code from the GitHub. As a DevOps engineer, I should know how to build and deploy that code by using Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, and Jenkins. Okay, and once the project is deployed and delivered to the client, I need to perform monitoring. To perform the monitoring of our cluster, our servers and all, we are going to use tools like Prometheus plus Grafana plus ELK stack. These tools are used for monitoring of our application. Prometheus and Grafana is used to monitor the servers of our application. Infrastructure monitoring we can do. ELK, log monitoring, logs monitoring. When the application is executing, how the application is executing, is there any problem in the application? We can monitor that by using a software called ELK. ELK, some people will use ELK, some people will use a Splunk here. Anything is fine. Splunk is a commercial software. ELK is open source software. So these are used for monitoring purpose. These are used for monitoring purpose. Are you guys clear with my point? Now, here the code will be available in the GitHub. We will take that code from the GitHub. So once we take the code from the GitHub, instead of delivering that code directly to the client, we need to do some quality check. Whatever the code is done by the developers, is that code having the quality? Is it following the coding standards or not? That quality check we need to perform on the code, that is called code review. To perform that code review, we are going to use a software called SonarQube. You get my point? So what is the purpose of SonarQube here? SonarQube is used for code quality check. So developers are doing the coding, they are storing the code in the GitHub. As a DevOps engineer, we need to take that code from the GitHub and we need to build, we need to deploy, and we need to deliver. Instead of blindly deploying that, let's do some code review. Let's check that the code is following the coding standards or not. Is it the development team is maintaining the quality in the development work or not? That we can review by using a tool called SonarQube. Okay, so once the code is reviewed by using SonarQube, finally we will deliver the code as a package. Okay, whatever the package that we are delivering to the client, that package we will maintain as a backup also, that is called artifactory server. Artifactory server. So for storing the artifacts, that means whatever we are delivering to the client, I will keep one copy as a backup. So that is called artifact of the project. So to store the artifact of the projects, we are going to use a tool called Nexus or JFrog. What is the purpose of this? Nexus or JFrog tools, why we will use them? They are used as artifactory servers. What is the meaning of artifactory servers? Whatever the code we have built, that code will be converted into one package. Jar file or war file will be created. That jar file, war file we are going to deploy in the server. Before deploying that jar or war, we will store that jar or war for the backup, which is called artifact of the project. The artifacts will be stored in one server, which is called Nexus. Some companies, some projects will use Nexus, some projects will use JFrog. Some projects will use Nexus, some projects will use JFrog to store artifacts of the project. And so here, lot of things we are going to do as a DevOps engineer, right? Infrastructure setup we will do by using Terraform. Configuration management we will do by using Ansible. Source code management we will do by using GitHub or Bitbucket. Code review we will do by using SonarQube. Artifacts we will maintain by using Nexus or JFrog. Build and deployment we will perform by using Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins. So all these tools we are going to integrate to perform the build and deployment. So once the deployment is completed, for monitoring purpose, we will use Prometheus, Grafana, and ELK. And the next one, all these activities, we are 5 members in the DevOps team. Who should take care of infrastructure setup? Who should take care of the code review? Who should perform the build and deployment? We need to assign the task, right? So for that, we are going to use a project management software, that is Jira. Jira is one tool which is used for project management. That means which team member should work on the which activity in the project, we will decide by using Jira. Task. Your day-to-day activities will be assigned to you in the Jira tool only. Jira is for project management. This week what activities you need to perform? The task will be assigned to you by using Jira software. So if you know all these tools, then you are called as DevOps engineer. Guys, all of you please read these points. Are you getting my points? What I am trying to talk about?
Sir, come again with the
Yes,
Jira.
sir.
Jira is for a project management, sir, task management. Which person should work on the which task? Your team lead will assign that task to you by using Jira.
Please explain Terraform and Ansible.
Yeah, got it.
You got it? Yes.
Yeah,
Guys, is it easy? What are the DevOps tools and what is the purpose of the DevOps tool? Basic idea that we are getting. Sir, I don't understand what is Terraform. I have not explained Terraform. Terraform itself will take 1 week of time to understand. The actual course is learning these tools only. How can you understand these tools within 1 hour? No. These complete tools we are going to take 2 months of time. Whatever the tools that I am listing down here, these are just titles. Picture baki hai. These are just titles I am giving you. These are the tools we are going to learn in our course. and how we are going to learn these course, where we are going to install these tools, how we will set up these tools in the Linux machine. For that, first we need to learn the Linux. Then we will understand how to set up these tools. Are you clear with my point?
Yes, sir.
Good. Can anyone read out what are the tools we are going to use and what is the purpose of the tools? I want to give some rest for my throat. Anyone can speak out 1 minute about the tools, guys?
First one is infrastructure setup.
Yeah.
Which will be done through Terraform, and through Terraform we will set up AWS, Azure, and GCP. Then we will move to the configuration management, which will be done by Ansible DevOps tool, where we will be installing all the required software in the system, like which we have set up in infrastructure. Then we will get the code, like then we will be assigned some developers. Developer will develop the code, and they will be stored in GitHub or Bitbucket, from where we need to pull out all the source code from GitHub or Bitbucket. Then the next step will be we need to review the code whether it is properly written, or as per the requirement it is good. I mean, all the basic criteria is fulfilled. I mean, the code is good or not. So for that we need to use SonarQube for the code review part. Then once it is done, we will do the backup in Artifactory server, which will be done through Nexus and JFrog. So in there, like, we'll be having a backup before providing the exact source code to customer. Then the next step will be built-in deployment process, where we will use the DevOps tool like Maven, Docker, and Kubernetes Jenkins, through which we'll be do the entire packaging stuff and do the CI/CD pipelines, all such thing in the build and deployment process. Then once it is done, then we will be having the monitoring for the quality check of that particular application, whether there is any bugs or any issues in the server or any applications. In For that, we will be using Prometheus, Grafana, or ELK monitoring tools for DevOps. Then all these above steps we will maintain, or we will assign this kind of task among the team by using Jira tool, which is a project management tool of DevOps. Is it okay?
Very good, sir. Excellent job.
Oh, thank you.
Good. So guys, I hope you got the clarity. How many types of teams will be available in the software project, and who is responsible for which activity? Business analyst team will be available. They are responsible to get the requirements from the client. Development team will be available. They are responsible to write the code. Testing team will be available to test the code is working as expected or not. Operations team will be available. DevOps engineers are called as operations team members, and the DevOps team is responsible to perform these activities. So as a DevOps engineer, we are responsible to set up the infrastructure, configuration management, build and deployment, application release, and monitoring. So to do the infrastructure setup, we are going to use a tool called Terraform. Using Terraform, you can set up the infrastructure in any cloud platform like AWS, Azure, GCP. And we are responsible for configuration management in the project. By using Ansible, we will do that. So configuration management, nothing but installing the required softwares, copy the files from one machine to another machine, all such kind of activities. Source code management. So all the developers' code will be stored at one place. That is called source code management software. GitHub or Bitbucket we will use for that. As a DevOps engineer, we need to pull the code from the GitHub or Bitbucket, and we need to do the quality check of that code. That means we need to review the code. For that code review, we are going to use a software called SonarQube. Then before delivering the code to the client, a project will be packaged, right? One jar file or war file will be created to deploy that code. So that jar or war is called as an artifact. That artifact we will store into Artifactory server like Nexus or JFrog for the backup purpose. Then finally, we are going to use build and deployment. Build and deployment we are going to perform by using Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins. Here guys, K8S, nothing but Kubernetes. Between K and S, 8 characters available. That's why we will write it as a K8S, which is called Kubernetes, which is used to orchestrate the application. Jenkins is used for CI/CD for the delivering of our application. Okay, and the monitoring will be available for the project. So to do the monitoring of the application, several tools are available. Prometheus, Grafana, ELK stack tools are available. By using them, we are going to monitor our application. And project management, nothing but task. What task we are want to assign to which team member, that we are going to manage by using a tool called Jira. So these are called as DevOps tools. Are you clear with my point?
Yes.
Sir, one thing.
Yeah.
Sir, what is CI and what is CD, and what are the tools comes under CI and what are the tools comes under CD?
CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So here, Maven, this Docker, Kubernetes, Maven, Docker, SonarQube, GitHub, all these things comes under CI. And in the CD, the Jenkins will be available, which will deploy that in the Kubernetes. These things we are going to use in the CD. These things we are going to use in the CI. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Continuous integration means build process. Build process is called continuous integration. CD means continuous deployment. This is two things. Code, whatever the code developers modified, you need to take that code, you need to build that code, you need to review that code, store the artifact. That process is called CI, continuous integration. Deploying and delivering that code is called CD.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Ashok, this is on this side.
Yes, sir.
I just want to ask one thing, like is network knowledge or networking knowledge is also required in this training?
Not required, sir. Whatever the network knowledge is required, that we are going to discuss in the AWS by using VPC service.
Okay, thank
no
you. And one more.
Prerequisites, sir. I told you, no prerequisites. So I want only these things from you. That's it.
Okay. Okay, and one more thing, like how many team members are involved in DevOps team?
Sir, generally 5 to 6 people. It depends on the company, right? If you go for MNC company, a big team will be available. If you go for a small company, small team will be available. And in the real time, for one project, one dedicated DevOps team will not be available. In the real time, one DevOps team will manage multiple projects parallel. Okay, for 4 or 5 projects, one DevOps team will be available.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
To use all these tools, do we require subscription or lab access or anything?
The only thing that you need for this course is you need to create one account in the AWS cloud. That is also free of cost.
What about all these tools?
I will tell you how to install. I will teach you.
We don't require subscription.
No. You need to install, but first I will show you how to install. Are you getting my point? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Sir, my question is that once we get a code from the GitHub, soon after that we will be reviewing the code using SonarQube, like a quality test of that code.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just want to ask you a question. Why do we do a code review, a quality check on code review? Can't the developers do it?
They will do it, sir. Developers also will do that. As a DevOps engineer, we also will do that. Developer means what they will do is multiple developers will be available, right? So every developer will review their code, whatever they have developed it. But as a DevOps engineer, we will review the integrated code, the complete code base we are going to review.
Okay.
Final review we are going to do. Every developer will review their code, whatever they developed it.
Yes, thanks on that, sir. And the second question is this Artifactory server. You said that we are going to give the code to the customer.
Not code to the customer, sir. Generally, we will deploy the application, right? So before deploying the application, we will package our application. Whatever the package we are creating to deploy, that package is called artifact.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Next. Yeah. Now, guys, in order to learn all these tools, in order to perform all these activities as a DevOps engineer, what is required? Okay, where we are going to install all these tools for the practice. In the real time, where we will install all these tools. In the real time, all these tools will be installed in the Linux machines. That's the reason DevOps engineers should know how to work with the Linux operating system. Okay, so we are going to install these tools by using Linux machine. Where is that Linux machine? That Linux machine we are going to set up in the AWS cloud. Now you understand my point? As I told you, infrastructure setup. We need to set up the application server. We need to set up the database server. We need to set up the storage. We need to set up the network. We need to set up the security. So all these things we are going to set up in the cloud platform. That is the reason here you are going to learn AWS cloud. So infrastructure we will set up in the AWS cloud. Okay, so in that we are going to take the machines in the AWS cloud. In those machines we are going to install all these tools and we are going to perform operations on the project. Okay, that is the reason. So if you want to work with all these tools, first thing that you should learn Linux. Second thing that you should learn shell scripting. Third thing that you should learn AWS cloud. Finally, we are going to learn these DevOps tools. So to learn these DevOps tools, these things are required. So that is the reason we have planned our course in such a way. Okay, first we are going to learn Linux, then we are going to learn shell scripting. I have given the roadmap yesterday. First we are going to learn Linux in this course. Second we are going to learn shell scripting. Then we are going to learn AWS cloud. Then finally we are going to learn DevOps tools. DevOps tools we are going to use for infrastructure setup, for configuration management, for source code management, for code review, for code build and deployment, for application monitoring, for infrastructure monitoring. Okay, so you understand the roadmap of the course, in which order we are going to learn? Come on, guys.
What is the purpose of shell scripting?
Shell scripting is used to automate the work, sir. Whatever the work that we are doing manually, right? Suppose, for example, every day I want to take the backup of my files. Instead of we are taking the backup manually, I will write a shell script for that, so that my shell script will execute every day, will perform the activity on behalf of me.
Sorry, sir, I'm not getting it.
So every day I want to take the backup of some files of my machine. In my machine, there are some files available. Every day 6 p.m. I want to take the backup of those files. Manually, instead of I am doing, I will write a shell script. That shell script will do that work. Automation, whatever the work that you have to do, that work you can automate by using shell script.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Sir, you said we do Artifactory is a backup or
That is a code
automation.
backup, sir. Code, whatever the code we are having, right? Code is nothing but multiple programs will be available. 10 to 20, I mean, suppose there are 1,000 programs available for a project. All these 1,000 programs will package. That package is called one artifact.
We take a backup of those package.
Yes, we will keep them as a backup.
So, but we do everything on shell scripting. So why need a backup?
No. Shell scripting is different, right? Shell scripting is used to perform some activities. For example, I want to delete all the log files of my application. I want to take all the log files, I want to store them into a different location. Okay, those things we will do by using shell scripting. Shell scripting is used to automate our manual work. So the Nexus, JFrog are used to store the source code as an artifact. Though they're completely different. They're completely different.
Sir,
You have mentioned that jar file and war file. So what was those things?
Yeah, we will discuss that, madam, in the coming classes. Once I go for Maven, I will explain you what is the jar file and what is war file. How to create them also we will discuss.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, can we write the shell script to take the backup of these artifacts?
Yes, you can do that also. You can write a shell script which will take the backup and will store in the next
Store in
server.
the
You can do that.
artifact server.
Yes, you can do
Thank
that.
you.
All right, guys. I hope you are clear with what are the tools we are going to learn as part of our DevOps course and what is the purpose of these tools. Gradle. Gradle is alternate for Maven. Shubham. Maven is available, right? In place of Maven, some people will use Gradle. That is used to build the project. Maven Gradle purpose is same.
Sir, this is Raj Kiran.
Yeah, hi Raj Kiran.
Sir, we will, as the DevOps engineer, we will be working on multiple projects, right?
Yes.
Then in the resume, if the interviewer asks what are the projects you have done before, then what
I will tell you, sir. Resume preparation is part of the course, right? I will tell you how to prepare your resume, what projects you need to keep in the resume. I will guide you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Ashok, are you going to cover Python scripting instead of shell scripting?
No, sir. Python scripting is separate here. In this, we are going to cover shell scripting. If you want to learn Python scripting also, then you need to join for DevOps Fullstack program.
Yeah, as a DevOps engineer, which is better? Either shell script is or Python scripting is better.
If you know both, that would be great.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right, guys. Good. Fine. With this, we are. So, Amit, you are having a question. Why it is called DevOps with AWS? Yes, good question. Why we are calling this course as a DevOps with AWS is what are the tools that we are using as a DevOps engineer? All those tools we are going to install in the Linux machine. Those Linux machines we are going to set up in the AWS cloud. So that is the reason we are calling this as a DevOps with AWS. As I told you, we are responsible for infrastructure setup, right? This infrastructure we are going to create in the AWS cloud. That's why we are calling this course as DevOps with AWS. Got the clarity?
Ashok sir, I have a question.
Yep.
Okay, so right now we are learning AWS, and let's suppose in future we have to work on Azure platform. So are we going to do?
If you learn one cloud, then easily you can work with another cloud also. Just a matter of 10 days if you spend, you can learn the Azure. If you learn one cloud platform, then you can work with another cloud easily.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All good, guys. Thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. with the same Zoom link you can attend. So I hope today's class is helpful for you. You got some clarity.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir. It was a great explanation, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you a lot.